The Hall of Banners was silent when the human arrived. Princess Sarai watched from the high seat with steady eyes. The visitor looked small in the vast chamber. He wore plain armor with dull marks of repair. No gems, no colors. He carried no blade at his side. The court had expected a champion. They expected a monster in metal. Instead, they saw a single human soldier standing straight with empty hands. The alien nobles whispered. Some laughed. Sarai did not. She studied how he stood. His back was straight. His eyes were calm. His breathing was slow. This was not fear. This was control. The herald spoke his name and rank. Private Elias Ward of the Terran Union. He bowed with respect, not submission. Sarai felt a strange pull of curiosity. This human had crossed half the galaxy alone. He had asked for audience without gifts or threats, only a request to serve. The Empire of Life had never trusted humans. They were too new, too fast. Their worlds multiplied in decades. Their fleets learned from every loss, yet they lacked elegance. Their ships were rough. Their weapons were crude. The Empire valued refinement. War was an art here. Battles were dances of precision and honor. Humans fought like storms. They absorbed damage and kept moving. They lost ships and kept advancing. They lost worlds and came back stronger. Princess Sarai had argued against war with them. The council had ignored her. Now a human stood before her after a border clash that shattered 3 noble fleets. He did not boast. He did not plead. He simply waited. Sarai felt the weight of the moment. She asked him why he came. His answer was simple. He said he came to prevent the next war. He said he came because someone had to stand between pride and extinction. The court laughed again. A single soldier, a private. The generals mocked him with sharp words. They spoke of honor trials. They spoke of combat tests. Sarai raised her hand and the hall quieted. She asked Elias if he understood the trial of service. He nodded. He said he had trained his whole life for service. He said service was not glory. It was endurance. The old marshal proposed a test. A live exercise in the proving grounds. A scenario against an autonomous war construct. One used to train elite knights. It had ended lives before. The court approved. They expected spectacle. They expected the human to fail. Sarai felt a knot in her chest. She told herself this was fair. If humans were as dangerous as feared, then one soldier should show it. Elias accepted without pause. He asked one thing. He asked to keep his armor. No weapons. The marshal agreed with a smile. The proving grounds were vast and open. Stone and steel formed shifting cover. The construct rose from the platform with a roar of power. It was tall and bladed with shields of light. The crowd watched from above. Sarai leaned forward. The signal sounded. The construct charged at once. It moved with speed and grace. Elias ran, not away, sideways. He used cover. He watched angles. He tested timing. The construct struck and shattered stone. Elias rolled and rose. His armor sparked, but held. He did not rush. He waited. Minutes passed. The crowd grew restless. They wanted a clash. They wanted blood. Elias kept moving. He breathed slow. He counted strikes. Then he acted. He leaped toward the construct as it overextended. He slammed his weight into a joint. He used leverage. He tore a panel free. Sparks flew. The construct adapted. It struck him hard. Elias hit the ground and slid. He rose again. The fight went on. Elias bled. He limped. He never stopped. He used debris as tools. He blinded sensors. He forced the construct to turn. He led it into narrow space. He broke its rhythm. The nobles grew silent. This was not art. This was survival shaped into skill. The construct faltered. Its power spiked. Elias climbed onto its frame. He tore cables with bare hands. He shouted with effort, not rage, focus. With a final wrench, he ripped the core free. The construct fell. Silence followed. Elias collapsed to one knee. Medics rushed, but he waved them back. He stood. He bowed to the princess. Sarai felt her breath shake. She had seen warriors all her life. She had never seen this. Not a perfect fighter. A relentless one. A soldier who refused to stop. The council was unsettled. The marshal tried to regain control. He spoke of luck, of design flaws. Sarai rose from her seat. Her voice carried. She declared the test complete. She invited Elias to speak. He did not boast. He said the construct was strong. He said humans trained to face worse. He said humans expected to lose and plan anyway. He spoke of his unit, of friends who did not return. He spoke of why humans kept fighting. He said they fought to protect people who would never know their names. He looked at the nobles. He said the empire fought for honor. Humans fought for tomorrow. The words landed hard. Sarai saw doubt ripple through the hall. She felt it in herself. She asked him what he wanted now. He said he wanted a chance. A chance for humans to prove loyalty through service, not conquest. He offered his life as guarantee. Sarai ordered a recess. In private, she met Elias. Up close, he looked exhausted. Older than his years. His eyes held patience and grief. She asked why a private was sent. He smiled faintly. He said officers were targets. A private could listen. A private could represent the many. He said humans trusted their lowest ranks because they carried the real weight of war. Sarai felt something shift inside her. She saw not an enemy, but a mirror. Her people valued lineage. Humans valued duty. She asked if he feared dying here. He said yes. He said courage was not lack of fear. It was choosing action anyway. She nodded. She made a decision that would change history. She named him liaison of the border guard. A symbol. A bridge. The empire gasped. Elias accepted with a quiet bow. The months that followed were tense. Elias trained with Lithe Knights. He learned their forms. They learned his methods. At first, there was distance, then respect. Elias never spoke down to them. He shared drills. He shared stories. He took the hardest shifts. He stood watch in storms. He repaired walls. He ate the same rations. Slowly, the guards changed. They became tougher, more flexible. They began to plan for loss and recovery. Princess Sarai watched from afar. She saw morale rise. She saw fewer accidents. She saw a strange unity form. Reports from the border improved. Skirmishes ended faster. Human and Lithe patrols coordinated. The council resisted, but results spoke louder. Sarai invited human envoys. Talks began. Trust grew in small steps. Elias remained quiet through it all. He deflected praise. He credited the team. He wrote letters to families of the fallen, both sides. The final test came without warning. A rogue fleet struck a border world. Pirates armed with stolen tech. The Empire hesitated. Protocol demanded deliberation. Elias acted. He coordinated defense with local commanders. He took a strike team and dropped into the city. Sarai watched feeds with clenched hands. Elias moved through fire and smoke. He rescued civilians. He led counterattacks. He took wounds and kept moving. The pirates were driven off. The city stood. Losses were heavy, but worse was avoided. When Elias returned, he was carried on a stretcher. Alive, the people cheered. Not just life, humans too. Sarai met him in the infirmary. She thanked him. He smiled weakly. He said this was the job. Nothing more. When Elias recovered, the council gathered. War with humans was tabled. Treaties were signed. Joint forces were formed. Princess Sarai addressed the Empire. She spoke of strength, not of beauty or tradition alone. She spoke of endurance, of choosing the future over pride. She named Elias Ward a Knight Protector, the first human to hold the title. He tried to refuse. She insisted. The hall stood in respect. Elias knelt, not as a conqueror, as a servant. In that moment, Sarai understood why humans endured. They did not rely on legends. They built them from ordinary people who refused to quit. The galaxy would remember this day, not because a human won a fight, but because one soldier showed an empire how to survive. Asterisk.